Welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics. On our show today, we'll visit with the district athletic administrators about the upcoming spring sports. We'll also hear from the great volunteers about the foundations that are in place to assist our schools in funding their athletics program. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with Mick Wilson, the Executive Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Our first guest today is the Executive Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, Mick Wilson. Mick, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me, Gil.
I tell you what, it's
pleasure to be here.
Oh yeah, it's a pleasure to be somewhere.
Absolutely.
Hey, let's go through the state tournament. We had a lot of teams in, and it was not as successful as we wanted, but the future looks pretty bright.
It does. You know, we had a few more teams qualify this year than we've had the last a couple of years, but you know, we've had them advance further. But I really felt like that with a good group of folks that we had, they all really worked hard to get there. We had a couple that didn't quite make it, but again, our coaches worked hard. It was a good reward for a long season. As you know, basketball starts conditioning-wise even at the beginning of school, and your season can start October 1. So it makes for a long haul, but those coaches really, I think a lot of them saw the fruits of their labor, and it was really nice to see the kids enjoy themselves. So again, we're hoping as we continue to move forward that these teams will bounce back and have a good run again next year.
As you look at those rosters, a lot of those rosters had young players.
We do. We have a lot of young players, and we have a lot of good middle school players coming up. This eighth grade class throughout the district is going to be strong. Again, I think as we continue to build and look to the future, basketball is never one that we take lightly. We know that we've got good players coming, and not only in our feeder system, but you know, through the whole process here within Oklahoma, when an eighth grader can choose where they'd like to go to school, that some of our basketball programs do attract kids from outside the district or from other portions of the state. Not that we obviously recruit those kids, but the programs speak for themselves. So as we continue to have success, then those people are going to want to be a part of that.
Very interesting. As you look at statewide tournament champions coming together,
it is. We've filled all the teams here the last couple of weeks. I think we're set to have another good field. Our local schools or our district schools that will be the host of that will be the Nathan Hale boys. Will be a part of that tournament next year. Taking a break, obviously, Memorial boys are a long-standing part of that, but this next year it'll be the Nathan Hale boys. And then on the girls' side, what a tremendous group of girls and talented group with the Booker T. Washington girls. Mm-hmm. Again, a lot of those girls will be back with a really great eighth grade girls class coming over from Carver and some other girls throughout the district. They're going to want to be a part of that. So I think we're in good shape, going to have a good tournament again. We'll be back at the BOK Center. I think we've got the dates hammered out on that. We're not sure whether we can put the stamp on that yet, but we know it'll be one or the other of 4 different days, and kind of depends, as you know, on hockey and what the Oilers are doing. But again, I'm excited about the potential to see that. I tell you, Gil, our basketball just continues to grow, and we've got such good coaches and guys that really work hard at wanting to be good. And then, of course, as we continue to build new arenas and our venues and practice gyms and things. So I think our basketball is going to continue to thrive and even get stronger.
I think it is no doubt with the facilities that we have available for our student athletes and the patrons to come and watch the kids participate, I think is really good. I don't want to throw you a curveball, but I watched on Facebook about Carver baseball.
Carver baseball is back, and of course, Coach P, John Potosnik, our athletic director and baseball coach at Booker T. Washington, is tickled because the Carver obviously is the feeder for BTW, and I did see that they're actually throwing the ball around again. Of course, my son plays at Booker T, so I think those kids are going to be a welcome addition to be part of that program, and to see that we have people that are interested in getting those kids involved. And it's just another avenue of athletics to be able to offer kids an opportunity to be a part of something at the school. So again, I think it's a win-win all the way around, not only for the kids, but for the school itself, with Principal Sykes and our athletic director, Kevin Williams, to be able to lift those kids up and give them an opportunity. And then again, another supporting arm or supporting leg that helps Booker T. Washington grow their program as well.
Well, I think it gives those kids something that we have not had for them in the past, and having baseball, I think that's important.
It has. It's been a while, and it's nice that we're able to as you visited earlier, or we'll visit later today with Marlon, about our wrestling continuing to grow and get better.
Right.
It just all works hand in hand, and as we're continuing to try to make our district, improve our district in many ways. That's the same way with athletics. We're just trying to reach out and give kids more opportunity to be successful and be a part of something.
On a statewide basis, our last minute here, March 22 was supposed to be a big day for Rule 14. Have you heard anything on that?
No, it's been quiet. Again, I think I'm not sure where we're at with discussions with the board. Again, I think that they're going to try to make the best decision for hopefully everyone in the state and everyone that's a member organization. I know it's debated back and forth, but I think they'll probably come to a good conclusion and then put it to a vote of the members, and then we'll just go from there. It's part of the democratic process of putting it to a vote, so we'll see how that plays out. To be honest with you, I don't really have a good answer for you on that, Gil. So it'll be a wait and see.
Rule 14 is the private and public having the same championships and so on. So, well, glad you were here today, and let's get into the spring sports if we can have some weather to have spring sports.
Next time I come back, we'll talk to you about some spring sports and hopefully a lot of success as well.
That'll be fantastic. When we come back, we'll have Marlon Houston, Assistant Director of Athletics.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Marlon Houston, Assistant Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools. Marlon, boy, what a couple of weeks for Oklahoma wrestling, huh?
Oh, it was wild, fun wrestling spring break for me. I'm just now catching up on the rest, just nonstop, with the NCAAs being in town, with Kenny Monday showing up, and it was just phenomenal. I had no clue it was going to be the week.
Everything I heard was that the BOK and the host institution, Oklahoma State, did a really good job with the national.
Did a wonderful job. Everybody was happy. Matter of fact, I spoke with the event planner for the NCAA and asked him how Tulsa fared. He said they checked all the boxes. It was a wonderful, wonderful tournament.
That's good. It's people don't realize I was fortunate to be the director of athletics up at Iowa University, and we hosted the Division II National Championship in Cedar Rapids.
Wow!
And we had 150 volunteers for table workers and that type of thing, and had the U.S. Cellular Center. And people really don't understand. We went in on Sunday for a Thursday start, and we left on Sunday to go back to campus. It was we couldn't have done it without the volunteers.
That's right.
I think that's with the Tulsa Sports Commission. I'm sure did a great job.
They did an outstanding job.
With that, and of course, and then dovetailing right off the Big 12.
Oh yeah. Yes. It was like I said. It was like it never stopped. It's like it never stopped.
As we get into the wrestling, I understand that we're looking at all the high schools having wrestling in the future.
Yeah, this past season we made it available for every one of our middle schools, all 10 of them, and next year we're going to make it available for every one of our high schools. So this spring we'll be working with our high schools to make sure we get some qualified coaches in and We already have some mats ordered, so there's a lot of logistics that we still got to take place, but everybody's on board. We're excited.
What impact has the girls wrestling had?
The girls wrestling has really brought more support, because equity is where we're at these days, and you got to make it equitable when you offer it to other genders or even other schools within a district. So that's really helped on the collegiate level first and foremost, and then trickle down to our high schools. And the support has been phenomenal for girls wrestling. It's the fastest growing sport right now in the nation, and there's a place for it. And now we've had girls wrestling so long that we have a lot of girls that are graduating from college, and they're coming back to coach. So
See, that's
hopefully we tap
fantastic,
into that.
because was my next question. What's the availability of staff?
Yeah, availability is getting better, and one of the things that's been happening throughout our sport is all the different wrestling foundations, whether it's FCA Wrestling, USA Wrestling, Beat the Streets, or different wrestling foundations. Every one of their initiatives, their top priorities, is recruitment and pushing back into our communities to grow the sport.
Do you look at any summer camps or things like that to keep the kids involved through the summer?
Yes, there will be some camps offered this summer. I know I'm a part of a wrestling camp at Oklahoma State. There's a few organizations that are going to try to do like one-day camps. And so, yeah, wrestling camps will be available. And, of course, you will have opportunities to do freestyle, Roman Greco during the summer as well. That will last all the way up to the middle of July.
Excellent. Wrestling was one of the sports really during the Title IX shift that kind of took it on the chin because of a comparable sport. Now noticing one of our illustrious graduates, Kenny Mundy, becoming the head coach at Morgan State, and they're reinstituting the program. Do you see that at the collegiate level starting to back up again?
Yes, and it was fabulous that you mentioned Kenny, because he did come to town a day early, had a free camp for our students that night. He was part of the HBCU Wrestling Foundation fundraiser. And it's big, not only that, because we have a connection with Kenny Monday, that as far as our coaching pool here within our district, it just gives us another resource that we're close and connected with to get our kids to the next level.
Well, that's fantastic. He'll be a positive impact. I think I might have told you one time I saw one of the greatest matches I ever witnessed was him and Mike Sheets from Tahlequah wrestling over in the Yukon tournament, and it went to a double overtime, and McKinney won, but it was a heck of a match.
Yeah.
And he had some matches like that during time. Are you excited about Morgan State starting wrestling?
I am, because, Morgan State, I was the last wrestler to wrestle on record for Morgan State. And it's just amazing that Kenny Monday is going to be the head coach when they bring it back. So, yeah, I had a lot of conversation with Kenny, and he's really excited about putting wrestling back in our public schools, especially Booker T, where he graduated.
I bet. Fantastic. Well, we'll have you back and talk about Kenny one of these days.
Well, I can't wait.
When we come back, we're going to have Steve Friebus, sports medicine coordinator for TPS.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field, and that it's the littlest things that will make all the difference in the long run.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with, not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I have Steve Friebus now, who's the coordinator of sports medicine. Steve's going to update us on our swimming, and then we're going to get into the precarious weather that we have in the spring. Tell us about swimming, Steve.
Well, we had a lot of highlights here. We had 23 athletes that qualified for the state meet, 14 from Booker T, 8 from Edison, and 1 from Memorial. Those are the 3 schools that we have programs at. And a lot of relays going on, various individual events, and one highlight is that from Edison, Miley Bradley, she placed first in the 100-yard breaststroke and second in the 100-yard backstroke. And where the second place, she lost to a senior. So here she is, a freshman.
Oh, my goodness.
And they were doing really, really well. And I think on one of them, she was real close to the state record or even beat it. So
outstanding as
good
a freshman.
things. Yeah, as a
really
freshman.
good.
So there's a lot of, and she has a younger sister that is supposedly on par with her. So
Well, there
the
you go.
two of them should really help us out.
So here we are. It is spring. We've had spring break, and it's rained, and it's been 20 degrees at night, and it's supposed to be 80 tomorrow, which is Wednesday. We're taping on Tuesday. And then Thursday, we're supposed to have thunderstorms. What type of preparation does that cause for sports medicine?
It means that in the trunk of my car, I've got weather for heat, cold, rain, snow, everything. No, what we try to do before games, especially we'll use Thursday as an example where there might be inclement weather. Of course, if we know it's going to be bad, we try to postpone, reschedule games. But you never know. Things, if Oklahoma, you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And at all our schools, we have a system called ThorGuard, which is a lightning prediction system. And so it detects whether the conditions are ripe for lightning. And that's our big concern. Rain is not our problem with a lot of sports. You can play in the rain, but lightning is dangerous. And it creates like a 10-mile radius bubble for that, and because we want to get the athletes to safety, the parents to safety, and then bring them back when it's safe, when that threat of severe weather is passed.
Well, and ThorGuard has been just innumerable for us because it's something that our ADs at the site, when they're hosting something, we have alarms on top of the buildings that go off, but they also get the alarm on their cell phone, and that's really an important thing. I can remember back a few years where we had a track meet where we brought them in and out of the cafeteria 3 times, and finally decided at 9:30 we're not going to get the track meet in. Because, but that gives us the opportunity to protect our student athletes and the patrons to get them out of the weather. As you get ready to prepare now, how do the physical part of the athlete, like we say, tomorrow it's supposed to be 80, Monday it was 30. What does that do to them physically?
It really is a challenge because when it's cold, athletes don't hydrate as well. They think, it's cold, you just don't have that thirst need. But then all of a sudden you have an 80-degree day, and it's amazing, you'll have kids cramping because they didn't properly hydrate. It's not what you do right then, it's what you've done 24 or 48 hours prior to it. The coaches have to be real adaptable. Maybe, okay, well, today we can't be outside, let's say for track, running, where it's slippery on the track. So now we're inside, we're doing weights, or we're having to find ways to run in the gym. It's tough. It's tough, and because you have your schedule. What are you going to do the day before a game, 2 days before a game, and all of a sudden the game's canceled and the game got scheduled to tomorrow or something. So there's a lot of adaptability that goes on there.
I think that's one of the things that the people don't understand, that there are certain contests where you have districts where it's mandatory to play those games.
Correct.
And sometimes you have to cancel other games that are non-district games to be able to play those. And sometimes you got 24 hours to make plans.
And oftentimes towards the end of the season, early on things get canceled. We'll look down the road, and then the last 3 weeks of the season, you're playing 3 games a week, and that puts a lot of stress on the athlete as well. Physically and from how tired they are, we had the ice storm with basketball. And a lot of those games, some got canceled, some got compressed into that last week before regionals. So, yeah, there's got to be a lot of...
And that gives you a little bit of rescheduling time to make sure you have everything covered.
Exactly. I mean, with not
trainer.
enough athletic trainers to cover everything, and we have multiple sports going on in the spring, you may think, okay, the baseball game's canceled, we'll just reschedule here, but that's at the same time as a soccer match or a track meet that you're planning on going to. So it creates a logistical struggle.
How many trainers do we have now?
Including myself, there's 7. And so, 9 high schools and middle schools and things like that. And then, of course, you have multiple events going on at the same time.
That's the thing.
It's tough.
And practices and so on. There's just, you can't be everywhere
Nope.
all the time.
Nope.
But anyhow, well, hopefully we can have you back this spring, and we'll talk about track, I'm sure.
Yep.
As we get into the spring sports, it's if we can get through this weather this week, we can make it into next week.
Yes.
Right. Thanks for being here, Steve. And when we come back, we'll have Kirby Counce from the Central Foundation.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Kirby Counce from the Central Foundation. Kirby, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Joe.
Well, I tell you what, we really appreciate folks that get involved as alumni with their high schools. And I've said for years that the colleges do a really good job, but the high schools don't do as good a job. And in high school, we were making a lifelong friends. I mean, those are people that will be friends forever, and so we need to do better. But foundations, I think, do that. Tell us a little bit about the Central Foundation. When did it start, and what are some of your goals?
About 1982 was when we were founded. The school, of course, is older than the state of Oklahoma. Right. So, we're the oldest school in the state. At one point in time, we had the second largest second largest attendance in the nation. Yep. Back in the 30s and early 20s. And so, and then Webster came along, and the other one, Will Rogers. Rogers came along, kind of took some of the students away. But yeah, the foundation came into being. We give out scholarships to the kids, and we'll take and with the kids, we like this year we got 9 kids getting $3,100 worth of scholarships that we're handing out to those kids, and it's just something that I really love. I love my Braves. I love the Brave Nation.
That is fantastic. You were telling me about your T-shirt. Show us your T-shirt.
Yeah, this T-shirt. This is the first time it's being revealed to the public. I don't know if I stand up.
There we go. Yeah.
And but yeah, this shirt is. Going to be, we're going to actually have it on where you can order it online with a QR code, and on posters with a QR code strictly from April 1st through April 15th. And 100% of the profit from this sale of this shirt is going to go to our scholarship programs and our 501(c) money that we're doing.
Excuse me. Well, that's fantastic. Now, and anybody can buy one.
Anybody can buy one. We've tried to make it, with the Tulsa being the thing. It's got the central colors in it. When I was in school, our colors were crimson cream, and our accent color was gold. Now the colors are crimson and cream, and the accent color is black. And so bringing in the past and the current, really in the black shirt just makes it pop. Now this one is not exactly how the one's going to be. The color's going to be more vibrant on the silkscreen version. This one was actually printed by a 3D printer on the shirt itself by Mythic Press. Mythic Press are the people that are doing it. I love it. I love we had one we did last year just before Christmas. This year we're going to do this. We're doing the black one now. I'm probably going to do a red one, a gold one, and a cream one throughout the next calendar year. Like I said, 100% of that is going to go towards the students, getting them scholarships.
All the money goes to the foundation.
100%, yeah. Right. And we do have a endowment that Lamar Slinker put into place a few years back. And that money is a scholarship that goes to our outstanding student at Central. This year, in fact, the scholarship is $1,500 to that one student.
That's good.
So it's going to be it's really neat. I'm excited.
You bet.
I'm so excited too because we got the new stadium finally.
Yes.
We're at 100+ school and older than the state, and we had to wait till 2021 to actually have a football stadium. And what's cool is I was actually the lone alumni that was asked to speak at the ribbon cutting. Big honor, huge honor. Love my Braves, love the Brave Nation. And some of the things I want to do too, I want to increase the scholarship amounts. I want to add a outstanding athlete, male and female. And in the athletes, I want to include as part of the choice, band and the cheerleaders, as well as our soccer, football, baseball, or soccer, football. We don't have baseball at Central at this time, but hopefully we'll even get a wrestling program, maybe some other things going this next year. I'd like to see us expand.
I know, visiting with some of the central office administrators in athletics, that I think every high school will have wrestling next year.
Oh man, that's awesome! I was on the wrestling team. Kenny Mundy is the only high school wrestler that pinned me. When in fact, he didn't pin me once; he pinned me twice, and so I was kind of looking forward to getting to see him, meet him, talk to him. But yeah, he was the only guy that pinned me my entire high school career.
Gee, well,
he's quite a wrestler.
You
quite
got
a man.
something else there that?
Yeah, this is the Great Spirit Towel. It's something that we do at Central. It's something I came up with. It was born on August the 8th, 2021, when they asked me to come speak at the thing. I thought, I want to do something different. So I got up there and I twirled the towel. Yeah. I'm ripping it off from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But,
absolutely.
But you know what? You got to start somewhere. And this is really awesome because this year, these were all handmade. I gave out over 500 of these to the people in the first year. Last year I gave out about 250 of them. But this year I'm going to actually have Mythic Press, who did the shirts, are going to do my towel for me. So it's going to be a lot prettier towel than what this is.
Well, yeah. I think it's great to have a facility on campus, to have a football facility on campus, to not have to get on a bus and drive for a home game.
Oh my goodness, man! We had that grass field out there that was just unbelievable, painful. When I was in high school, the practice field, So.
Well, that's a neat deal. Well, thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gil.
To the Central Foundation, and we'll have you back sometime.
Hopefully, yes. I'd love it.
When we come back, we'll have Carol Axley from the Will Rogers Foundation.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right. Only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I feel like athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLean, the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have a special guest. one of the members of the Will Rogers Foundation, Carol Axley. Carol, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You know, the Will Rogers Foundation has been around a while. When was it originated?
Well, that's a good question, because we have 3 foundations at Will Rogers High School.
Really?
We have the Will Rogers High School Community Foundation, and then we have the Tulsa Will Rogers High School All Sports Boosters, longest title we could think of, you know. And they're 2 separate things, but we could not get along without the Community Foundation. We work in collaboration with them, and they give us a lot of the money. And then we have an organization, the 55 Fund. An alum donated $500,000, and he wanted $50,000 spent each year, and he wanted it organized and coordinated by people of the class of 55. So they help us a great deal. We couldn't make it without them. But we started out first as a football foundation, football boosters, and that was before my time. And then they moved into the Community Foundation. Then Tulsa Public Schools got a new attorney, and they said, get the boosters out of the foundation. So that was, we started probably in 2018 moving out, but I don't think the paperwork was completely done until 2020 or something like that. But we were working way before that.
Yeah. Well, the
Long
thing.
answer.
Yeah. Well, the foundation aspect of public education is very important.
Oh, absolutely.
We can't hardly operate without those outside funds and those volunteers that work so hard, for their schools and so on. And I think one of the things that I noticed over the years of being at the collegiate level as well as the high school level in athletic administration is that in the high schools, we don't have a tendency to really motivate our alumni to come back and be involved as we do in college. You know, you're in constant communication in college all the time with your alumni base, but we kind of forget about that. And what people don't realize, I think, in high school, you're setting a lifetime of friends. The people you go to school with, they'll be friends forever, because that was an initial. And so it's a really important thing that we have the kinds of programs that we have. What are some of the things that the foundation funds?
We buy all the uniforms in conjunction again with the 55 Fund. We set up Crystal Marquardt, our athletic director, best in the city. She works 24/7, and she set up a cycle so that our athletes every 4 years are going to get a new set of uniforms. So at least one time during their 4 years at Will Rogers High School, they'll be in a brand new set of uniforms. And I'm telling you, you look good, you play good.
No question. That's one of the things I used to when I was coaching. No matter how many players we had on the football team, we would take half the field to warm up. Because I'm one of those people who say, how many players do they have?
Yes.
Perception's reality.
Exactly.
And you build that perception. So, we may not play very good, but we're going to look real good.
Right.
And I think that's important for the kids to have pride in their school and in their program. It's great that you guys are involved in that. As you look at the future of funding through the foundation, what are some of the things that you look forward to?
The project that's on the books right now is putting turf on our baseball softball complex, creating a baseball softball complex. And right now, if it sprinkles in Tulsa, it's going to flood our field. And we haven't had a school board representative, so we haven't been able to present it for approval. We would like to put Gordon Morgan's name, a renowned coach in baseball here in Oklahoma, on the field. We have people ready to donate, but they're not going to donate until it's been approved by the school board.
Sure.
We haven't had a school board representative until last night. We got one.
Yes.
We're elated.
Who's a former track participant?
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're glad to have that, and that's what we have people out there waiting to give us money to do it. It'll take $300,000 and some to put turf just on the infield, and but we have baseball players from all over wanting to get involved and come back and tell each other stories. You know, you tell them, I top them.
Oh, yeah. Gordon was a good friend of mine for
I did
years.
not know that. Okay.
He started out at Rogers as the swim coach. And when Rosie Hogue finally retired,
Yes.
then he got the baseball job. But Gordon had been a professional baseball player. Played at TU, had coached at TU, had played in the Red Sox organization, but turned out some tremendous teams at Rogers. And that would be a great opportunity.
Yeah.
That process takes about 6 weeks from start to finish. I've done about 3 of them when I was there. So,
Well, it's taken us a lot longer than 6 weeks without a school board director. But Eric Iverson at NEO has lots of former players that are wanting to donate and get involved. So that's looming on the horizon.
Well, good. Well, maybe we'll have you back sometime. We can talk about the naming.
That would be great.
Well, thanks for being here today. And when we come back, we're going to have Cathey Barkley, who is the president of the Legends Foundation, which is the district-wide athletic foundation.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against a tough competitor, plastic.
Don't trust those numbers on the bottom. You have to stick to what you know. Only bottles and jugs found in the kitchen, bath, or laundry. They're quick to pick up. And empty those bottles before sinking that shot.
Always empty your bottles before recycling. Score big by recycling your plastic bottles and jugs. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Cathey Barkley, president of the Legends Foundation. Cathey, thank you for being here today, and really thank you for everything you've done for TPS Athletics.
Always glad to be here and always glad to promote the Legends Foundation.
Well, tell us about the Legend. How did it happen? When did it happen? And then we'll get into some goals and roles.
Well, you were the brainchild of this foundation when you were athletic director for TPS, and we were established in 2019, and our mission is to support and enhance the TPS athletics programs through fundraising, different events, special events, and public relations.
And your late husband did such a great job in putting this together. We certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a difference maker, I think, for the program to get into that level where we could do the fundraising and have it as a benefit to those who did send us funds for the student athletes. Talk about what your key role you think is now as far as fundraising and projects that you have coming.
Well, we enhance and support the athletic budget, and the funds are limited. It's better than it was a few years ago. And we kind of came into a little bit of a stall during COVID, like every foundation and every business in Tulsa did. But we have found our way to reaching out to different corporations and individuals, and we have 2 basic fundraisers that we do. We have a golf tournament every year, and then we have our Hall of Fame dinner. And they both fall in June, kind of back to back, but that's what we kind of raise most of our funds that way. And we assist the 19 secondary schools that we have here at TPS with their athletic needs, whether it comes into uniforms, equipment. We have a tutoring program. We just have various needs that come up throughout the year that need to be addressed sooner than later, and we step in and help those kids out.
That gives the flexibility to be able to fund some projects so much quicker than to go through the process with the state statutes and everything as far as spending of public dollars. It really makes it easier, I think, for our athletic directors at the buildings and our coaches, to be able to look forward to being able to catch up a little bit with the funding, which has been difficult. We went through 2 or 3 years that were really tough there, and but the foundation, I think, it will make a difference. What's some of the you mentioned the big project? We got 2 of them coming in June.
Yes, we have our first fundraiser will be Monday, June 5th. And every year we have a golf tournament. And a couple of years ago, we petitioned Southern Hills Country Club. They have one nonprofit that they do a year other than the First Tee program. And we petitioned and we were selected as the golf tournament that, there at Southern Hills. So our event will be Monday, June 5th. We have 2 shotguns, one at 8:30, one at 1:30. It's a shamble event. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll include breakfast and lunch if you're in the morning shotgun. Afternoon, it'll be lunch and heavy hors d'oeuvres afterwards. We have prizes for the morning group and the afternoon group. And again, shamble format, lots of fun. And we're looking forward to hosting the event there. Of course, you know, many of the major golf tournaments have been there. And it's a special opportunity for us. We can't do it every year, so this is kind of our one big chance to raise some money for our foundation.
Be able to play on a world-class golf course, you know, is a bucket list item for a lot of folks, I think.
Absolutely.
How do the people get involved with playing in the tournament?
Well, the tournament, you can go to our website, tulsalegendsfoundation.org. And up in the upper right-hand corner, you can click on the menu and you can go to golf tournament. You can register and pay online or call the TPS athletic office. Lisa Norman will answer the phone. She will answer any questions that you have. Put your team together or sign up as an individual. And we're about half full right now. We're moving forward on this and we expect to sell out, but any questions or information can be reached either through the website or the TPS office.
Excellent. And let's talk about the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame coming up 4 nights later. It'll be at the Doubletree Warren Place. We have 13 inductees this year, and those names will be revealed. Barry Lewis with the Tulsa World will start presenting those to us for the public in May, maybe in April, just to kind of put about 3 out a week, 3 or 4 out a week. And we've got a great cast of inductees. Every year it's difficult. I mean, you really come down to trying to figure out one athlete per school, which is our 9 schools. And then we also have other support people, whether it's the media or coaches that we want to also induct. So we've got a great group.
It is. Every year you think this is the best ones that we've ever had. And then you come to the meeting, the debrief meeting, and you think, start picking for the next year and think, oh my gosh, how do we ever leave that person?
Yeah, or isn't he already in, or
yeah,
she?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, well, it's so glad you're here, and thank you for all that you do for TPS Athletics, and I'm sure we'll have you back hopefully before the tournament and give us an update on the golf.
All right. Thank you, Gil.
When we come back, we'll have Sean Murphy from the Memorial Foundation.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now I have Sean Murphy from the Memorial High School Foundation. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gil. It's good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the Memorial Foundation. It's been around for quite a while.
Yes, that's correct. The Memorial Football Foundation was founded in 2001 by Jamie Fowler, who's an alum of the 1977 class. It is staffed by myself, Mr. Fowler, a handful of other alums from the school. We are the primary fundraising body for the football team specifically. We are a 501c charitable organization. We exist to kind of bridge the gap funding-wise between what the district can provide and what the team needs. In the past, we've purchased items, of both short and long-term need, everything from helmets and shoulder pads and mouth guards to blocking sleds and ropes and pre-game and post-game meals for the team, also extra travel, things that we can pay for to take the fundraising responsibility out of the hands of the team and the players, and just make so they don't have to worry about those sort of things. As you know, football is a very popular game in Oklahoma. Lots of kids are playing it. It also requires very specific equipment. It just kind of makes it hard to plan for size-wise and number of participants and things like that. So that's what we exist for.
Foundation is critical. We really appreciate the volunteer work that everybody does, to raise money. It is an ongoing, and you never have enough. If you think you have some, then you're looking in the wrong direction, because there's always something more we can do for kids. And I think that's the reason we have foundations, is to be able to do that more. What are some of the things that you have looking forward to in the future?
So this year, Memorial is we're in the process of hiring a new head coach. Don't know how much info I can disclose about that, but I think he's going to be very impressive. The kids around town, when you see him, they'll be very impressive. And hopefully our record reflects a team that, is well disciplined and whose football knowledge is improving. Those will be coming up in the fall. And just work on that sort of stuff. We've done an annual golf tournament. We don't have one on the schedule yet, but we'll probably be planning one shortly. Some additional fundraisers for the summer and fall for the team.
Yeah. How do you view your role as a foundation in relationship to the Memorial campus?
So I'm an alumni myself, class of 2008. I'm a fan of the team. Myself, my brother, all my friends growing up, we all played football for the Chargers. And we just want to make sure that, the kids can go out, they can be safe, they can have fun. Football is a sport that parents are a little apprehensive about letting their kids play because of the contact and the collisions and things. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the kids, first time they play is going to be 9th grade. So we want to leave a good, impression on them when they come to the Memorial Building and participate in our program, that they're learning teamwork and toughness and personal responsibility and all the good things that go along with being on the football team.
Mm-hmm. It is an ongoing process. I saw probably 20 years ago we felt that football might be extinct when the concussion thing really popped up, and there was not any great scientific data on what that CTE was and so on. And but it has manifested itself through the time and has continued on to play. That's been one of the things we've always wanted to do with our student athletes, is to ensure their safety. I think that's very, very important. So as you look to the future, I know that Memorial football in the past, I can remember when the years I spent at Union, Richard Eddy was the coach at Memorial, and he always had a saying, said, well, this is the Woodland Hills Bowl. Anytime Memorial played Union, was the bragging rights at the Woodland Hills. And, it's one of those things that we need to see that happen again.
Agreed.
Where they can come back. Well, thanks for being here. Good luck in your fundraising. And thank you guys for volunteering and putting that foundation together.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Gil.
You bet. When we come back, we'll have Lamar Burks, who's a historian for Booker T. Washington.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Lamar Burks, historian, curator, and producer. You got a lot of jobs.
Exactly. It kind of goes with the territory. I like to say I've played the game, I've coached the game, and now I've turned into a historian, and somewhere along the line, I've turned into a producer.
You know about the game.
Sports.
Now, well, let's talk about that. You and a couple of your colleagues went together and put together a documentary about Booker T basketball, which has a storied history, obviously, in the state of Oklahoma. Tell us about that.
We actually started in I say right before COVID got started again. There's that word again. And once we kind of got involved in it, COVID kind of shut us down for a long period of time. But we worked on it over a 2-year period, and that staff included myself, Dr. Rodney Clark, and Rocky Bright. Ironically, we all play football, and it's amazing that 3 football players made a basketball DVD.
Very interesting. What are some of the things that you bring out in this DVD?
In the DVD, we talk about the proud over 100-year history of Booker T. Washington basketball. We mention the legendary coaches from beginning all the way up to now. We talk about the NBA players, which we have like 5 or 6. And the interesting fact was that even though we had 5 players over the years in the NBA, we had about 7 to 10 that played football that probably could have played in the NBA also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the two-sport athletes.
Two-sport athletes
were really, really something during those years. As you look at what's been the response to the movie?
I'm glad you asked that question. We, in the past month or so, we've shown it at the Circle Cinema. The first time we invited about 30 people, and from that 30 people, that was our advisory committee, and we showed it to them. And then after it was over, we did a Q&A period, and they kind of told us some things that we needed to do to take it to the next level. So in this second DVD, it has more information than the first DVD because of what the community told us, and it enhanced it.
There are things that you found out by doing this that you didn't know before?
What I've learned is actually working with Dr. Rodney Clark, he's a magician when it comes to cinematography, because my area was pretty much just bringing all the history to him, and then sitting down watching him splice and edit and change. And there were a lot of pictures that we could have used, but they didn't work because the more you blew them up, we lost, So it was like, wow. I tell him all the time, he needs to teach me the things that he does. So because he does a lot of things throughout the community, and I could be working on this.
Right, exactly. Okay. How can people get a hold of this?
At this time, I forgot to mention, when we showed it the second time at the Circle Cinema, we had over 200 people there with standing room only. And it was almost like a pep assembly, a homecoming. Alumni were coming. There were people we hadn't seen in many, many years. There were people who heard about it and they wanted to see what it was about. And so right now we're trying to get it to some film festivals. And then from that, we'll probably start selling it throughout the community.
Okay, well, very good. Well, good luck on that.
Thank you.
That'd be neat to be able to see that. As you look about the Booker T experience, what makes it special?
It's like a community. It's like a neighborhood. I mean, the majority of the people that probably attended Booker T, they probably have grown up hearing their parents talk about it. It's a certain kind of pride. I take nothing from any other high school in the city of Tulsa, the state, the nation, but it's something going, it's something special about Booker T. Washington. It's just, you have to be there to see it. And like you say, you go to church, you go to pep assemblies, and the student body is all involved.
And that's unique in this
very unique
society we have today. Well, what else do you have here for us?
First, I'll show you. I'll show the city. I have a copy of the Hornet Football Excellence DVD that we did years ago, which made it well throughout the community. And then I appreciate Dr. Clark for wanting to do a basketball DVD. So this is kind of like the rough draft that I carry around. People want to buy the DVD or whatever we're going to do it on, but right now it's not available. It's been on, like I said, we showed it at the Circle Cinema. For those that missed it, they really missed a treat because it's getting out in the community of how I should have been there, and I was telling Dr. Clark, man, it's amazing what we did. We thought the football video was great, but this is really better because more players involved. And also, some things I bought from the museum, Lamar, that I've had. When I first started coaching at Booker T in football, Coach Larry McGee gave me my locker assignment. And when I opened up that locker, there was Coach Lacey's state championship trophy from 1967. It kind of let me know that I was in the right place. That was my future. My students give me things all the time. Here's a student that was a student manager at Booker T, and I told him that there was a career in equipment. And from that, he's been probably to most major colleges in the nation. He was also with the Chicago Bears, and now he's the head of equipment with the USC Trojans.
What's his name?
His name is Fred Lovett Jr.
Fred Lovett, okay.
I tell him all the time, he don't owe me any money, but he needs to continue to, And he brings me all the 56 jerseys from wherever he's been, because that was my high school number.
I see. All right.
And
well, we got to wrap this up now, but we'll need to have you back.
Let me say it one more time.
Okay, real
I
quick.
have students that play college basketball, and I tell them when they go to the Final Four, make sure you bring me a towel back.
There you go.
So I collect towels as well.
You got to get one from this one.
Exactly.
Year. Right.
Believe me, I've already put the order out.
Well, thank you, Lamar, for being here. We'll be back after these messages.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right. Only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field, and that it's the littlest things that will make all the difference in the long run.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with, not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
We hope you enjoyed today's show featuring our district athletic administrators and school foundation volunteers from Will Rogers, Memorial Central, and the Legends Foundation. Foundation President Cathey Barkley was here to talk about district-wide fundraising for the athletics. We want to thank those folks who volunteer their time working in the various foundations in the Tulsa Public Schools. Without their help and funding, it would be very difficult for our student athletes and coaches to have successful, positive experiences. If you have the opportunity to work with these groups, I am sure you will see the benefit to our students. We hope that you get a chance to see our spring sports students perform this spring as we're in full mode. Enjoy the spring weather, and we'll be back with a new show on April the 4th.